good, bad, and the ugly.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You used what you had, which was one light over the top, and surround it with cards, and then use Photoshop to lighten the background, right, in the foreground. Steve, I guess we lost Steve. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, Steve. I think it looks fine. Um, I like the how detailed the bottom of the shoe is, which is such an important part of these types of shots. Very good. Click Snapshot. Who is Click Snapshot? Very first post here. Click Snapshot. Um, did you do it right? Well, yeah, I think you followed the brief pretty well. If you're not talking, please mute yourself. Please hit your mute button and then unmute yourself when you want to come in and chat because we can hear you um, typing and doing things. Um, but no, I see that Click Snapshot is not here tonight. But yeah, you've done the brief. We need to see the bottom of the shoe and the top. But I would like to show you um, on the video. If you can go back to what Steve was saying, where he's really used a very bright light to get this, or very broad light to get this rubber to reflect it. That's a softbox brought down very, very low and very close to it, so the shoe reflects the softbox. Most of these treads are rubber, um, rubberized material, some type of rubber material, and that gives it a bit of a highlight. So it's reflecting the light from above. This shoe is, we're seeing this, but we can't see the tread in it. So how would we see the tread in it? Well, at this angle, we would have to put the softbox down below. See, so it would reflect into the shoe. This would be a very tough shot to do at this angle. Um, how to do it a second way would be to bring to do it a way that would work using Photoshop is to bring your light into the shot, make the exposure of the bottom of the shoe, take the light away, make the exposure of the second shoe, and then blend them together in Photoshop so you could actually see this texture. I like what you did. You tried a different kind of design here, and your composition is kind of fun. Using the strings that down there to fill in that space, that's kind of fun. I think you did a pretty good job here. Click Snapshot. We've really got to see that tread though, and that takes some real finesse and looking at it and saying, where do I put my light to make it happen? Yeah, stick with it. I'm glad to have you here. Glad it's your first shot. Um, let's keep going. Keep going. That's great. Reed. Um,
Yeah, Don.
hey, buddy, how you doing?
Okay.
Okay. So these are very. You shot a track for the background. Drop these over the top,
Right.
um, and tell us how you lit them.
I've just got two speed lights at about 60 degrees off of it to get the relief from the end in the middle.
Okay.
And I just have snap-on diffusers over the speed lights.
Snap
The
on
only problem
diffuser.
I had, the ones come with the speed lights,
Oh, okay.
just the little plastic things. The only, the toe was pretty hot. I had to tone it down a little bit in
Mm-hmm.
post. But other than that, I really haven't done too much to it.
Okay. Well, the hard light definitely brings out the texture here. Really see the texture on the bottom of the shoes. Pretty cool with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I don't know, Reed, if I'm real crazy about the background, but I don't have to be crazy about everything. Um, Yeah, yeah, that's kind of a neat background that you chose. It definitely says running. Did you shoot the shoes together? You shot two different shoes and then blended them in Photoshop.
No, it was amazing. A Planters peanut can is just the right height to put the back shoe on.
Okay. Okay. So
It's sitting sideways on the can.
okay, and then you just took the can out.
Well, it didn't show up really.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, but I just selected around the edge of the shoes. But
Okay.
I shot them both on the same shot.
All right. Very good. Very good. How you doing out
Thank you.
there?
Oh, me? I'm doing okay. Well, we've had a bit of a struggle over the last few months, but I'm coming back.
Good, good. Well, glad to have you back. Glad to see you on here doing this stuff. John
Yeah, I need it.
McAllister. John McAllister. That's a very nice shot, John. Couple of camera right soft lining with a white bounce card very close to left of the shoes. Homemade snoot. Okay. Contrast the background is out of focus sky with colors messed around with in Photoshop. So he's using a big soft light in real close, white cards. You can see the soft light here. You can see the white card here. And then he's using a snoot to help bring out some texture. You did a great job with this, John. Um, that's a rocking shot, my friend. It covers the brief perfectly. We needed to see the bottom of the shoe. Steve, I keep unmuting you, but you keep getting muted again, so I don't know what's going on. We see the bottom of the shoe beautifully, really spelled out for us, and of course, the side of the shoe looks very good as well. Uh, John, that's a very good shot. That's really fun. Um, I think that I don't see anything wrong with that shot. That's very done, very well done. Cool. Jay Hassel, 47. Boy, those white tennis shoes are hard to shoot, aren't they? Against a white background. Um, but he pulled this off pretty well. We can see the texture in the bottom of the shoe. The whole shot looks just a little bit flat to me. Jay Hassel 47. Yeah. Okay, Photoflex white igloo. Oh, okay. All right. So he's using a surround box, one of those light box things. They will tend to make your product shots look a little flat, like this. And so, how do we compensate for that? One of the things that you can do with the with the white tints, is to add some black cards, a little bit of black inside it to give some negative to the bounce as well, so we can shape it. This is very bright all the way around. The shoe is everywhere the shoe goes, it reflects. Let's look at John's up here, where we have places in the shoe that don't reflect. Now, this is, of course, a black shoe, but still, there's places that don't reflect the light, and that gives us the shape. When we use the light tints, we don't get that. Light is everywhere here. So we need to check our contrast. We probably need to do a little burning and dodging here as well to give a little bit of shape to it. The entire bottom of this shoe is the same rendering. Go back up again here to David's, and you can see we've got some little bit of dark here, a little bit of dark here, so we feel it a little bit different. Let's go back up to Steve's. Same thing with Steve's. We got a little bit bright, coming a little bit dark in here. So we feel that there's a difference. And what happens with those light tints um, is, wow, we just don't get it. We don't get that feeling. It's just all washed. So some people like to add shadow. Some people like to add highlight. I would say for this shot, we've got to model this in just a little bit of dark in here, so we can see the shape of the shoe. Very good, Jay Hassel 47. David Navrati. Hey, David.
Hello, Don.
How are you?
Good. Getting not much sleep lately. Our
Uh,
newborn is crying all the time.
yeah, well, sleep's highly overrated. Is
Yeah.
that your first kid?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me tell you just a little something. Okay, the time between the baby crying all night and the baby being 24 years old is the blink of an eye, my friend.
All right.
You
All
get to
right.
the other side and it's a blink of the eye, and you think, "Wow."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Seems at least the first few weeks we had now, the time flies really
Yep.
with him.
Yep. Enjoy the crying. Enjoy the spitting up. It's all part of it. And there'll be a time when all the kid wants is the keys. So enjoy it. Cool shoes. Nicely done with the light. Looks like you're using. I see you got the how you did it shot here. We got the lights far away so that they are um, small sources, which is nicely done on the shoe. The shoe's got a lot of canvas in it, does it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's a Gore-Tex shoe, canvas on top, and I use a snoot and grit to get really a high spot lightning on that to get a lot of texture,
Yes.
similar to Reed, what he did.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
on this setting picture, it's not a final because I had to add a cell reflector
Uh
to the
huh.
left to bring up the toe of the
Right here.
shoe. Yeah, right there, right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Is that
Need a bit more
reflector
light
adding?
there.
Is that reflector
No,
adding this, or is that coming from the grid?
that's coming from the grid, from
Okay.
the left top flash.
Okay. And you used a black and white photograph in the back, or you did that in Photoshop?
I did that in Photoshop. It was shot on the black, and then I just changed the background.
Cool. Very cool. Very nicely done. I like what you did with the grid and the snoot here, because it's really kind of a modern approach to doing it. That looks pretty cool. And thank you so much for the setup shot. Boy, that really helps everybody learn. Um, and you're like I said, your lights are that light's what 3 feet away from the shoes, 4 feet.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Figure.
this is shot with wide angle, so the distances are, of course,
Okay,
looking a
so
bit larger. I think it's 3 feet
about three
max.
feet. Yeah, yeah. So the
I
lights.
just needed to move it far enough because actually I got really tiny spots and those were not illuminating enough of the shoe.
Right. So
Therefore, I
you.
had to bit back off the light and increase the power to
Yep.
light more of the shoe.
Yeah. I'm glad you did that. You started in close and then you moved back to where it would work.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly that.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I want to encourage everybody to do is to start with your lights are in as close as you can get them and not be in the frame. Start there, then move back because you'll finally find that spot where it works. But if you start back, you'll never know what can happen as you move the lights closer. As you move the lights closer, the light becomes more dynamic. Um, and as David was saying, with that grid spot, it gets, it might be too hot, too much of a small opening. So you just start there, back it up, and see where it ends up. Nice shot, David.
Thank you.
Alicia,
Hi, Don.
hi. We've got, wow, that's a beautiful photograph there, Alicia. How
Thank
did, how
you.
did you do that?
Okay, the setup is below. And
Wow,
I
really?
actually, to be honest with you, I kind of cheated a little bit in that I saw this almost exact shot on a company's website, and I thought it was just lovely, and I wanted to try it.
Good.
And I came pretty close. I mean, I really should have put the original picture next to it so that you could have judged how close I came to it. But in my opinion, I came like maybe 80% close to the pair that I loved. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of happy with this one.
Yeah, you should be happy with it. I think your lighting is very, very nice. What a nice idea. So you're using a hard light over on the
Mm-hmm.
this side, and then you're
Right.
That's this, and then this soft light here is just doing a beautiful job lighting up this part of the shoe. Just a lovely job. The smoke, did you
Thank
put that
you.
in Photoshop? Is that
Yeah, that's added, yeah. And I don't know if you can notice it well enough, but I also added like a light behind the shoe, a green
Uh-huh.
light, which,
Right
yeah,
back here?
I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the smoke, yeah. Which is,
Yeah.
like I said, what I saw in the original picture that I liked. So I'm figuring I'm just not so great and coming up with great ideas. So you know what? I'll just try to copy the great ideas
Well,
and,
you know,
and learn from that, you know?
everybody does it, Alicia. The thing is, what you do is you get an idea, you see something, and you want to shoot. You should I think you should copy other people's work to get
Okay.
good at what you want to do, and you so that
Right.
you can then do it yourself. There's a great jazz trumpet player named Clark Terry, and not only was he one of the best jazz trumpet players ever, he also was a great jazz trumpet teacher. And
Uh-huh.
one of his quotes that I use all the time is imitate, assimilate, innovate. So you
Okay.
imitate the artist at first so that you can
Uh-huh.
assimilate the technical skills.
Right. Okay.
You know, as a jazz trumpet player, listen to Miles, then play
Uh-huh.
that Miles Davis solo till you got it down. Then when it's time for
Right.
you to play your solo, you play it your way,
Okay.
but you've
Mm-hmm.
learned from the masters, you know,
Right.
the stuff. So there's nothing wrong with it. And I like the
Okay,
fact that
good.
you say you got close, but it wasn't exactly the same. Of course,
Okay, yeah.
it's Alicia's
Yeah,
shot.
because they use a pair of tugs, and so the shape was a little different.
Hmm.
But I think if I had a pair of tugs just like that, it probably would have come out like 90%, you know. But I was really pleased that I was able, because I originally tried this shot with a white pair of shoes, and that's lower down because it didn't work.
No.
So I end up changing the composition for that pair. So there are two shots for me. But with the black, it was just, I mean, I took like just 20 shots and I got it. You know what I mean? But with the white, I took like 200 shots and didn't get it.
That's this one right here.
Yeah, so that one I tried with that composition. It didn't work.
Okay. Yeah, because we can't see the sole here at all.
Well, actually, that's a pair of cycling shoes.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Got it.
nothing there. So
There's nothing there. It's
yeah.
just a
So
little.
it's no this. Yeah.
I
Yep.
like it because they're cycling shoes.
Who was that?
It's Steve. I'm back. I have a bad connection tonight.
Yeah. You know these aren't bad, Alicia.
Uh-huh.
They're not bad. I think this inside area, this is a real soft black material. We could do something to bring that up a little bit, but the shoe itself is lit very nicely. This part of the shoe is.
I have a big question about that because when I lit it, it was actually almost too bright. And in Photoshop, I adjusted it and it looked good. And I even left it a bit bright in Photoshop. And when I take it across to JPEG, it's just totally different. Everything looks darker. And I keep bringing it up. I would select the area, bring it up, and still it just almost as if it just refused to show in JPEG the way I'm seeing it in Photoshop.
Well, that's interesting. What is your color space in Photoshop?
You are asking a very difficult question. I think it's a Adobe RGB, if that's the right answer.
Okay, Adobe RGB 1998. When you bring that Adobe 1998 onto Flickr, now I don't know about your saving a JPEG, but you bring it onto Flickr and it changes it to sRGB. Because Adobe 1998 is not
even
seen
when I take
on the web.
Okay, because even when I take it out, like I would finish in Photoshop. On rare occasion, I would just save it as a JPEG onto the the folder that I've made, and I'd save it whatever is the highest thing that they say to save it at. And it always comes like that. Sometimes I send it into, if I took it from Lightroom and I'm sending it back to Lightroom, but I always get the same result. In Lightroom and Photoshop, it looks great. And then I take it out of Lightroom and then everything changes. Sometimes I have to go back and forth 3-4 times to try to balance things.
Now, check your Lightroom setting and your Lightroom is gonna be in a color space called
Pro
ProPhoto.
Uh-huh.
That's the default color space in Lightroom. You don't
Uh-huh.
want that.
Okay.
You need to check your light because Lightroom's going to show you this beautiful picture.
Right.
And photo, when you take it into Photoshop, it will show you a
Uh-huh.
beautiful picture. But when you save
Yep.
it out as a TIFF or a JPEG, it doesn't look too
Uh-huh.
good. So
Okay.
it's that Pro Photo, and that's the default. You need to change your Lightroom default to Adobe RGB so that
Okay.
your Adobe your Lightroom is coming out at the same as your Photoshop.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we had Kathy Jan did a shot for a client, and the client was so upset with her. She did 5 food shots
Uh-huh.
for her, and the client was so upset because she said these pictures look awful, Kathy. And of course,
Uh-huh.
Kathy's looking at them on her screen, going, "They
Right.
look beautiful." And she's thinking, "Oh my God, what does this woman want?" We went round and round for 3 days on that before I finally realized what she was doing.
Yeah.
Kathy was looking at
Right.
them on her machine at ProPhoto, and as soon as she saves
Uh-huh.
it as a TIFF, that's not available, and the TIFF goes down to sRGB or Adobe 98. It doesn't work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that'll
Okay.
that'll fix you up.
Okay. Good. Because it drives me crazy. I go back and forth all the time with that.
Yeah,
The
that'll
the
fix
light
you
set
up.
the setup for that shot is actually all the way to the bottom if it matters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Great little studio you got going there, Alicia.
Yeah. AKA laundry room.
Well, it's bigger than my laundry room, Alicia. My laundry room can't handle me and the kid in there at the same time. So, very nicely done.
Thank
Melissa.
you.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Melissa. I see your setup shot here with the clips and everything. Very cool. And there's your is that your Home Depot light hanging over there?
It's at Costco, but yeah, it's a LED work light.
Yeah. Well, look how nice it's doing. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how nice it's doing there. Beautiful. Now, do you have it going through a diffuser?
No, it's the setup shot was recreated, but it's just the one hot light. I went around with a makeup mirror, and it's a composite of about 10 pictures.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Camera on a tripod, multiple pictures, and blending them in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's a complete cheat.
No, that is a very modern way of doing it. It totally is. Um, no problem with that at all. Lots of photographers do it. They had a couple of guys on Creative Live. That's how they do it. So yeah, no problem. And you did a very nice job with it here, Melissa.
Well, thank you.
You did a very nice job with it. Wow. Well, that LED light puts out some nice light, doesn't it?
You get a sense of what the work light is really doing in the bottom lower right picture. It was
Right here.
really the foreground was really just dark. The front of the forward shoe, the side of the shoe was just, it was very dark.
So how long did it take you to do this?
A long time. A long time.
Well, worked out for you, didn't it?
That's okay.
I think
You learned a
I
lot.
think I think just lacing up the shoe took me an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, and you did it perfectly. No twists, no knots, no. Yeah. Well, the styling of these things sometimes takes longer than anything else. I have a client I shoot for sashimi. She sends me a box of like cotton, some sort of cotton tops and things, and they're all squished into this tiny little box. So taking the wrinkles out of it takes longer than shooting it. So the styling is definitely part of the deal. Well, Wow, neat shoes too, by the way. A good find with the red bottoms and soles. That really pops.
I can't take credit. My husband just came back from Costco and said, "How about these?" I didn't even pick them out.
Well, your husband has good taste in photographable shoes.
Yeah, the one thing I wondered about them is the soles on the shoes are almost a fluorescent color. Like,
Well, that's what they are, though, right?
it's like a fluorescent pinky orange, and it was really tough to get that color.
Well,
I was thinking I didn't do a very good job in Photoshop matching this weird fluorescent color.
did you do a color balance with it? Because I don't know, those LED work lights are they're nice and bright, but they're not photo lights. So the color of that LED could be affecting what you're doing as well.
Yeah, I used a color checker and I did set the white balance. I wasn't happy with it, and then one of the last steps in Photoshop was a hue saturation layer, and I just kind of made it what I wanted.
There you go. It works. Make it what you want. It's your shot. Oh, I can see the kind of fluorescent looking on this one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are those your shoes or your husband's?
I think they're going back to Costco tomorrow.
There you go. Well, nice shot. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the fact that you did the mirrors. I would love to see you do a poster on Flickr with all the shots with the mirrors.
Oh, they're ugly. There's a lot of ugly shots there.
Did you watch the guys on Creative Live do that with the mirrors?
I did. They were doing Bud Light Platinum, and I thought, why aren't I doing that? Because I don't have a softbox, or I don't really have other lights.
No, that's a very popular and modern way to do it. So if it gets the shot that you need to do, then that's what you use. The fact that you're doing that with a $50 Home Depot light just is a nice testament to how painstakingly detail oriented you are. So good for you, Melissa. Don't apologize for that. Not at all. Good job. Everybody, good job. A bunch of cool running shoe shots. Very nice. Okay, any questions?
Don, I have a question about getting backgrounds white because I've had that problem this week. You know, I was shooting some food stuff for somebody, and I mean, it was like painstaking trying to get this background white. I'm putting a light on, and the light is really hot in one area on one half and cool on the next side. And eventually I just had to Photoshop it, but it was frustrating. And I mean, there must be a way to get the white.
Is it
Consistent
tabletop
running
shot?
white. Yes.
What I stopped having trouble with white backgrounds when I floated a large softbox over the top of my set. Once I did that, even to catch the ambient, just as an ambient, I would get a smooth white background. If that doesn't work, then if you don't want the softbox on your shot, like we've got the shots from now Steve used a softbox here, but we've got shots down here from where was it? Where was the other? Was there another white? Oh, right here, where David used grid spots. You can do this kind of grid spot lighting against white. It's very interesting to do. But what I would do is then take that softbox and angle it away from my subject, so it just lit up the background paper. The exposure I use for that white background paper is one stop brighter than I'm shooting at. So I use
and would you compose those after? Is that what you're doing?
I'm using my ambient meter, and so let's say my subject is the shoes, and I want the background to
Uh-huh.
be bright white. I'll make the
Uh-huh.
background be f11 while I'm shooting the
Uh-huh.
shoes at f8. And so now the white
Okay.
background is one stop brighter, plus it's white, and so
Okay.
it's perfectly clean, and it
Okay.
doesn't flare. If the white
Okay.
background is two stops brighter, like I'm shooting at 8 and it's 16, then it actually
Uh-huh.
becomes a light source. So it'll start to
Okay.
bleed around these edges, and you'll see
Okay.
a little bit of flare because you're shooting into a light
Okay.
source if it's two stops over.
Okay. I understand. So,
Okay.
what if you don't have a light meter to tell you that it's one stop more?
Use you have to set the white background up first, right?
Uh-huh.
Then use your camera, underexpose it so you know it's underexposed, and then move your camera.
Uh-huh.
Let your camera move that white. When you're taking a picture of it, you should have um, histogram right in the middle, right? Because it's just
Uh-huh.
a single color background, so you should have one
Right.
tiny line there, and then you just keep opening up your aperture until you move that line all the way
Okay.
over to the right, all the way.
Okay.
Once
I
it's
kind
all
of
the way
tried that,
over to the
but
right,
it won't focus.
no, it does no. You have to turn your focus off.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay. Put
yeah.
on
Turn your
manual.
focus
Okay.
off. You don't want to focus on it.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't matter. Then you get it all the way.
Okay.
Once it's over on the full right hand side of your histogram,
Uh-huh.
that's white.
Okay.
So let's
I get it.
say
I
it
get
said it's
it.
over on the full side of your histogram. It says f16. Okay,
Right.
great. You're going to shoot at f11. So then
Okay.
you put your subjects in there, and you have your camera on f11. Then you move your light in or use power on your light to make your light be f11 on your subjects.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll try it tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah.
there you go.
Good. Good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions? Anybody? Well, okay then. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys next week. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.